hello everybody, good afternoon and welcome to the PBC on Fox YouTube Prelims. Ray Flores alongside Felix De Jesus as we begin the Cinco de Mayo holiday in our main event tonight on Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view. An all-Mexican heavyweight slugfest featuring Andy Ruiz Jr. going head-to-head against the Nightmare, Chris Arreola. Felix, what a way to begin the Cinco de Mayo holiday under the sun. Fans are back. Let's get ready to rock and roll, my friend. It's a fiesta here in SoCal.
That's right, Ray. We're all getting prepared for a big day night. We'll start with the preliminaries, which are excellent. And, I mean, you don't get such a big fight like this, maybe in Mexico with so many Mexicans fighting today.
Oh, it is going to be tremendous. Let's take a look at what we have on tap here for the preliminary portion. Anthony Garnica matches up against Jesse Bazzi. Carlos Negron, the Puerto Rican heavyweight, he was an Olympian, takes on Scott Alexander. And then our feature bout in the preliminary portion, this man has fought the likes of Showtime Shawn Porter, also Danny Garcia, Adrian Broner. He's always exciting. He's Mexican. He's from Chicago. Adrian Granados will go head-to-head against New Mexico's very own Jose Sanchez.
This card is so packed that you have Adrian Granados fighting in the prelims. I mean, this is great.
On the preliminary portion, and let's take a look at what we have live on Fox coming up at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific time. These two gentlemen will go to war against one another in the featherweight division. Eduardo Ramirez, who has really been on a run as of late, he will take on Isaac Avelar. And then our main event on the Fox portion, at Islandi Lara, looks to become a 3-division world champion, but standing in his way from Belleville, New Jersey, Thomas Lamana. And incidentally, Lamana said he's going to be one that he's going to stop at Islandi Lara.
Strong words by Cornflake. Islandi Lara has a history, of course, in boxing. Oh, that's a great matchup. We'll see what that has to offer tonight.
You know what I love about this? And then in our pay-per-view portion, if we can go ahead and we look at the pay-per-view portion, it's an all-Mexican card. As you take a look at, we'll start off with Jesus Ramos, 15-0 with 14 knockouts, taking on Javier Molina. Sebastian Fundora, the Towering Inferno, matches up against Jorge Cota. Those two matchups are fun to start off the night.
Fundora, of course, a great prospect, but watch out with Cota. He's tricky. He can give him a great fight, and of course, Ramos and Molina, we're just going to see fireworks.
Well, and also, speaking of fireworks, Omar Figueroa Jr., Abel Ramos. Figueroa said he's going to stop Ramos in 6 rounds or less. Ramos says, go ahead and try it. You're the one going to sleep. And in that fight, Felix, forget about defense.
No, Figueroa has something to prove, and he says he'll do it tonight.
And then in our main event, Andy Ruiz Jr. matches up against Chris Arreola. Ruiz, the only fighter of Mexican descent to capture the heavyweight championship of the world. Chris Arreola was the first Mexican to challenge for the heavyweight championship of the world sub 11 years ago against Vitaly Klitschko. And now, lo and behold, these two gentlemen will collide tonight.
He was overweight and he had tremendous speed. Now you could imagine Ruiz in shape tonight, what he can offer.
Well, I cannot wait as Andy Ruiz Jr., he is training under the guidance of Eddie Reynoso, who happens to be the same trainer as Canelo Alvarez and Oscar Valdez and Ryan Garcia. And the one item that I heard throughout the entire training camp, I visited Andy Ruiz last week in San Diego, was the fact that Ruiz is disciplined, and Eddie kept saying, I congratulate Andy for all the work that he put in this training camp.
And then you have on the other side Goosen, who doesn't want to be shown up by Reynoso. So you're going to have two managers having their fighters at their very best.
Well, I mean, I talked with Joe Goosen, and I asked him what the difference was because this is his second fight with Chris Arreola. I asked him what the difference was. He said he is at least 5 times better than what he was in the fight leading up to Adam Kovnatsky. And what's interesting about that fight with Kovnatsky, you and I were both there at Barclays Center, is that Arreola and Kovnatsky set the CompuBox record for most punches thrown, landed in a heavyweight fight over the course of 12 rounds. That says something.
No, and boxing can change. A punch can change careers, can change family, can change everything. And both of these guys know it.
This is a loaded card. You know what I love about this? And you still have time. If you don't have the pay-per-view, you still got several hours. It is cheaper than most pay-per-views, which is a phenomenal deal. And listen, Felix, you're going to get action on this card from top to bottom.
I got to tell you, this is an easy sell today because people want to see Warriors, and Warriors we're going to have tonight.
You and I have worked many Cinco de Mayo holidays dating back to the days of Floyd Money Mayweather. And what I love about it is that there's something special about a prize fight during the Cinco de Mayo holiday, Felix.
No, there's nothing wrong with getting together with a bunch of friends, maybe some alcoholic beverage going around, and enjoying this fight, because it's going to be great.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? I know that Proper 12 is your sponsor, so make sure to go ahead and enjoy yourself if you're 21 years and over. Some Proper 12 Irish whiskey as well. And one thing about this place, too, Felix, we're at Dignity Health Sports Park. This has had various names, but what I love about it is that there's something special about this venue. Anytime fights happen in this particular place, you always get some barn burners.
No, definitely. Going back to Vasquez, Marquez, and I mean, all throughout the years, history is made in this place. It's great. I mean, you start out in a sunny day, and then at night you're cold. So it's just a change of temperature, and everything is just so dynamic to have this kind of match. Yeah,
right now it's probably about 75 degrees. It's supposed to get to a low of 61 degrees before our main event. But, this is a big moment for these preliminary fighters to be able to test their skills, Felix, because, this is an opportunity. Everybody starts fighting on the preliminary portion. Shawn Porter, who is a colleague of ours, he started off fighting on the preliminary portion. Andy Ruiz, everybody has to start here and work their way up.
No, now you're going to be in with the big dogs. Everybody's seeing you now on Fox, and then sooner or later, if you win, you're going to be on the big show.
And don't forget, the pay-per-view coming your way, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time. It is cheaper than most pay-per-views. As you see in the ring, Jesse Bazzi, as he gets set to put his skills to the test here. And we are at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. He is 1-1, is Jesse Bazzi. And we get ready for his opponent in Anthony Garnica.
Garnica, of course, is the big prospect, 5-0 Ray with 3 knockouts. So we're expecting fireworks early in this fight. Bazzi, 1-1. He's 29 years old. This might be a break or make fight for him. So let's see what he has to offer tonight.
Well, it'll be very interesting because it's about testing yourself and putting yourself, in a position to go ahead and see where you are. And if you're, Garnica, you want to go ahead and really make a definitive statement heading into this fight, because you know that the world is watching. And as you look at it, Anthony is going ahead, and he's only, he's still in his 20s. He's coming off a win over Luis Alvarado back over a year ago. He fought in February of 2020 prior to the pandemic. So now he's back inside the ring for the first time in over 15 months, so looking to make a definitive statement here this evening.
No, definitely, and of course he wants to set some good vibes. He's the roommate of, or was the former roommate of heavyweight Andy Ruiz Jr., so he wants to start off this pay-per-view on a good foot.
And now we get ready for our opening matchup, as let's take a look at our tail of the tape for our preliminary portion. And, we go ahead and Felix, break us down the numbers. We don't see them in front of us, but by all means, you could break down the numbers for all the fight fans out there.
Bazzi, this is his 3rd fight. He's 1-1. And, of course, Garnica is 5-0 with 3 knockouts. We also look at decisions, of course, 2 for Anthony. And total rounds, 11. So he's, pretty young at this. 11 rounds also for Bazzi. This is a featherweight fight.
And now for the official introductions, we send it up to our ring announcer. My brother here is Miguel Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dignity Health Sports Park here in Carson, California.
For premier boxing champions, exciting day of boxing action. It is all brought to you by TGV Promotions and Fox Sports. It is sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts and Proper No. 12 Irish Whiskey. The finest, the tastiest, the smoothest liquid gold in the world. Our 3 judges ringside are Damian Walton, Sergio Cais, Ron Stevens. The referee in charge of the action is Sharon Sands. We begin the action with 4 rounds in the featherweight division. Introducing first in the red corner wearing the white trunks. He weighed in at 126.4 pounds. With 1 win and 1 defeat out of Dearborn, Michigan, please welcome Jesse Bazzi. And introducing his opponent across the ring in the blue corner, wearing the purple with red trim. He weighed in at 125.2 pounds. His record, undefeated, 5 victories, 3 coming by way of knockout. Out of Oakland, California, please welcome Anthony Garnica.
Anthony Garnica, who is undefeated at 5-0. Going head-to-head against Jesse Bazzi.
He's a sharpshooter, this Garnica. Watch out early. I mean, his punches are straight as an arrow. Let's see if Bazzi could hold on and give him a good fight today.
Well, we are starting off the afternoon and the evening. You get every single fight that is on this card, either on our social media pages on Fox or on pay-per-view. And we are getting set. Garnica stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. He is coming off of a majority decision over Luis Alvarado. He is from Northern California, has a 60% knockout percentage, and we are underway here as Anthony representing Oakland, as you see on his trunks, Oaktown. Ray Flores, Felix De Jesus. And as the fans make their way in, Felix, I think that, we are going to get a very festive atmosphere here at Dignity Health Sports Park.
I think so. It's going to be fireworks, and people want to see it. They want to see it live.
And nothing like a prize fight during the Cinco de Mayo holiday as we begin the Cinco de Mayo weekend. Garnica throws a nice uppercut followed by a right hand over the top. And, with fans being in attendance, I did hear some cheers for Garnica. And you know what? Hearing cheers, Felix, that makes my heart smile. Because I have missed every single one of you.
We've been, it's been a tough year. We're getting over it, slowly but surely, and that's good news.
Now, what's good news is that the pay-per-view tonight with Ruiz and Arreola is cheaper than most pay-per-views. That's great news.
That's very nice.
Seeing that Jesse Bazzi is sort of moving around the ring trying to figure out Garnica, who is 5-0. Felix, do you think that ring rust is a thing? Because Garnica has involved. There's a right hand, and down goes Jesse Bazzi. Well, I guess ring rust isn't a thing.
Exactly. You answered your question right there. This kid is a sharpshooter. Bazzi's interesting. I don't know if California should have stepped in because he did get knocked out about 36 days ago. So
he's over that 30-day mark, so he literally right on the cusp there. But a nice right hand that sent Jesse Bazzi to the canvas. Good head movement also by Garnica. There's a right hand over the top.
That left is low by Bazzi.
Coming in on the inside. There's a right hand down the center by Garnica.
Garnica is looking to land that right over that left of Bazzi. That's really low.
He's very fluid in his movements, is Garnica.
Long day for Eddie Reynoso as this first fight, and then of course has the heavyweight fight.
Yeah, I mean, he's certainly a worker, isn't he?
Oh, he's bleeding already. Bazzi is from the nose.
Oh, yes, he is. We see blood streaming from the nose. It's interesting, too, because right now it is about going to be 2 o'clock here, and we're seeing some shadows, so it's a little bit difficult to see. Thankfully, we have on sunglasses so we can see, but my goodness here. And that ends the first round. Take a look at this knockdown, Felix. Look at that right hand bang right on the chin.
He's straight as an arrow there. Bazzi did not protect himself, and he went down. He did go up right away, which is a good sign. But round one goes to Garnica.
And I think the whole night goes to you because Felix de Jesus is my analyst tonight. He's going to be translating on the Fox portion of the pay-per-view. You wear many hats, Felix.
Like you do too, right?
Oh, you know.
Are you doing international too today?
Yeah, doing all the fight for the international audience. Been here all week, and you know what? It's just great to be here in SoCal during Cinco de Mayo. I lived here for a couple of years, and I loved it. I really enjoyed my time here. The fans are great. They're passionate. They're excited, and I can't wait until we continue to progress alongside this card tonight.
Fans need this tonight. They need a nice fight. Well, a few fights that we're going to see on pay-per-view. So we're setting it up because it's going to be great.
And this is just an appetizer. Before we go live on Fox, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific time, Lara and La Mana. And then Andy Ruiz and Chris Arreola on Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view. On to round 2 we go. Anthony Garnica with the knockdown in the first round against Jesse Bazzi. This one in the featherweight division. Sharon Sands, a referee in charge. But so far it looks, Felix, like Bazzi, even though he's bleeding a little bit from the nose, like he's been able to recover as we enter the 4th round.
The only thing is that left, which is his power punch, is looking very slow. And I think Garnica is going to take advantage of that.
Garnica wearing the blue and the white. Wearing the all-white is Jesse Bazzi. And these fans are so passionate that they have made their way here early. Limited fans in attendance here at Dignity Health Sports Park. But they are going to get loud, and this place can erupt. And you know that that'll be the case later on tonight.
It's a small arena here, and you can hear from every angle. You can hear the fans.
I also want to thank our fantastic staff from Fox, along with Premier Boxing Champions, the TGB Promotions staff, Life in Motion Group. It takes a very dedicated and concerted team effort to pull off an event of this magnitude.
Yeah, all the testing and everything was done correctly.
Good to see Lennox Lewis in the house, the heavyweight champion in the world. Brian Kenny as well, doing a wonderful job. Joe Goosen, who's doing talk about double duty.
Yes.
The legendary Joe Goosen.
He's here
who
too.
Looks,
Everybody's
he's
here.
a dapper dressed man.
Justin also.
Justin Goodman, our researcher. And here we go. We are over the midway point of the 2nd round. And we appreciate all of you joining us. Right now, though, Garnica is looking solid, and he throws a right hand that connects on the top of the head.
He slowed down a little bit of what he offered in the first round, but that was expected. Couldn't keep up that pace. But he's still throwing the better punches in the 2nd round.
Under a minute to go here in the 2nd. There's a right hand that backed up Jesse Bazzi.
You can tell it's a big night. The amount of professional boxers, champions that are going to be here tonight.
100%. Abner Mares said he's going to be in the house. Sergio Moro might be making his way here as well. So, see the lovely Heidi Andro that is making her way. She will be reporting all night long on the Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view. But Anthony Garnica now teeing off on Jesse Bazzi. Bazzi got out of the way of danger.
Still moving well is Bazzi. But
there's a right hand that backed up Bazzi. Bazzi's head almost went into the front row. Final moments of the 2nd. Anthony Garnica unloading upon Jesse Bazzi. And that concludes the 2nd round.
This might not last long, Ray.
I mean, it doesn't really appear that way.
Great showing up to now by Garnica. Dominated that 2nd round. It was pretty even until he just turned it on with a few seconds left in the round. That left-right combination. Bazzi did not know how to answer. There's Marcus too.
And Marcos Villegas, who does a great job as the unofficial scorer for Fox. Better him have that job than me because I'm not really good when it comes to judging fights. I would hate to be a judge, Felix. Even an unofficial score.
Tough job.
Oh, it is A fiesta here. Don't forget, buy the pay-per-view, foxsports.com/PPV. What a deal. And every single one of these fights in the pay-per-view portion, Felix, I'm looking at Javier Molina, Jesus Ramos, Fundora, Jorge Cota. I like them all. I can't wait for every single one of these fights.
Now, these fights are going to be great tonight. And you can buy it on the iPad too, right?
Yeah, you can buy them on the iPad, you know, wherever you are. You know, your iPad, your cell phone, your smart TV, regular pay-per-view or satellite providers. They got you covered here. And now the doctor's looking at Jesse Bazzi.
Still bleeding heavily
He's
now.
still bleeding alongside his left nostril.
Okay, they let him go.
Round number 3, this one is scheduled for 4. Ray Flores, Felix de Jesus. Also want to thank our fine producer, Andrew Nelson as well. Doing a great job.
The whole staff there too.
Just wonderful group here.
Here, Darren and Gene are with us.
Yep. Right now, though, it is Jesse Bazzi who's trying to push the pace a little bit. He is down considerably on the scorecards, Felix, because of that 10-8 round in the first round due to the knockdown. I would say that he lost the second round, and now on to the third. You see that Garnica is using the jab followed by that right hand.
Yeah, he needs to do something quickly, does Bazzi here, to gain a little respect, because Garnica is just blowing him away right now. He's trying. He's competitive, Bazzi, but I think Garnica just has more talent.
And Felix, the way that, and we're now into May of 2021, but I remember being a fight fan, and this just goes to show you my age, but being 10 years ago, and I would read reviews on the preliminary portion on social media about, oh, how great this fight was if I wasn't in attendance. Now, you get every single fight either on social media or on Fox or the pay-per-view. You're not missing a single fight.
No, this is great. You don't have to read about it anymore. You can see it live.
Exactly. So just enjoy yourself, kick back, relax in your favorite chair. I hope you have your food. If not, get a food delivery service. It'll come right to your door. Favorite beverage, and get ready for Ruiz and Arreola tonight on Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view.
So Bazzi's game, he's trying as much as he can, but Garnica not just dancing a little bit, trying to get a couple more shots.
Good jab there by Garnica. I like the head movement and the feints of Garnica as well. He's athletic.
Yes.
And you see
There we
that.
go.
There's a right hand followed by a left.
That right has an opening all night so far.
It's been like a sledgehammer as he is just pounding away upon Jesse Bazzi. There's a right hand again, clipping Bazzi.
There's no benefit for Bazzi to exchange with Garnica because he comes out on top, does Garnica.
If you're Bazzi, though, he wants to, I would gather that he should try to close the distance and try to make this a physical fight, because from the outside, as you pointed out so eloquently in the first round, that Garnica is a sharpshooter.
Yep.
Meaning a very good counter puncher and can make you pay if you are overly aggressive.
And he's seeing that left. So if he's seeing it that clearly, there's no way he can get in there.
That ends the third.
I just want to mention the whole crew that's also with us today. Of course, Andrew Nelson, our producer,
Yes.
Daniela Mayock, Zach Kinman, of course, B, who does an astounding job.
B Stafford doing a wonderful job. Zach Kinman from
Michael
Fox.
Jankolovitz, head Mero Mero.
Mero, right?
You haven't heard that one in a while.
Oh, no, we haven't. But it is the Cinco de Mayo holiday. Great to see Librado Andrade here as well.
Librado.
Super middleweight contender. I'm still upset that, he should have won the world title against Lucien Boutte. You were there in Quebec for that one. That's another topic for another day.
Yeah, but that's why boxing is so interesting. A punch can change a career, can change earnings, can change everything.
Literally. And you know what? The same can be said about tonight with Andy Ruiz and Chris Arreola. They both need victories because the way it holds out the heavyweight division, you don't know what's going to happen, if Fury and Joshua's going to transpire. And if it doesn't, then the winner of this fight could put themselves in title contention.
We're talking about millions.
I mean, well, that's millions upon millions.
The bank accounts will look nice after whoever's the winner tonight.
No doubt about it. Fourth and final round with Anthony Garnica, who's undefeated, 5-0, 3 knockouts, training under the guidance of Eddie Reynoso. Incidentally, happens to be the same trainer as Andy Ruiz and Jesse Bazzi. You see that Garnica showing support to Andy Ruiz. He's got the AR logo of Andy Ruiz on his trunks. Are you surprised that Bassi's been able to last throughout this fight?
Surprised.
Felix?
He did show a lot here by just staying with Garnica. Not winning the fight, but staying with him.
Don't forget our main event of our prelim portion, Adrian Granados, who's been in the ring against the likes of Shawn Porter, Adrian Broner, Danny Garcia. He will take on Jose Sanchez, and now they are mixing it up. So big right hands connecting for Anthony Garnica.
Yeah, that's the only chance Bazzi has. Look for a knockout. And he's game. He's going in there. But Garnica is not giving him anything right now.
No, he's not. It's a good start to the night, though. We saw a knockdown in the first round from Garnica, and I think Garnica, I wonder if he might have hurt his hand because he doesn't seem as willing to engage as he did in the first round, Felix.
Yeah, he slowed down a bit. He knows he's winning the fight. About a minute, 20 seconds left in this last round. So he might just take it easy. There might be something going on with that right hand. He hasn't thrown it.
He really hasn't. I wonder if he might have hurt it on the top of the head of Jesse Bazzi. Seen a lot of jabs and a left hook there, but still no, sign of the right hand that has been thrown here in the fourth round. 65 seconds left in the round. Fans in attendance here at Dignity Health Sports Park. Looking to close the distance is Jesse Bazzi. But coming off of a layoff of over a year, Felix, it's important to get rounds in. And I think for Garnica, aside from getting the knockdown, or from getting a finish, is that, he has to be happy with his performance.
No, definitely. This is what he needed, although it's only a four-round fight. He gets his work in, and he needs a fight a little, can't wait another year to get another fight, but he'll be ready.
I just hope he didn't hurt his right hand because that would be detrimental to a young fighter's progression.
Especially the featherweight division that has so many talents coming up.
Absolutely loaded. You have Gary Russell Jr., Manuel Navarrete, there's a right hand that connected there. He threw the right hand to Garnica. Final moments of our opening prelim portion between Anthony Garnica and Jesse Bazzi.
Whoa.
And that concludes the fight. There we go. That's a way to close it out in fun fashion between Anthony Garnica and Jesse Bazzi.
Well, Garnica, nice little test for him here. Fourth rounder. Maybe he'll be ready for more rounds in his next fight. Bazzi put up a fight, but he definitely, I think, came in second in this first bout. Let's see what happens.
Well, Felix, I'm not an official judge. I'm not even an unofficial judge, but just from my standpoint, barring anything catastrophic, I would gather that Anthony Garnica should win this comfortably.
I think that's a safe bet.
Right.
You're not going out on a limb on that one.
And you know what? I'm also not going on a limb on the notion that when Ruiz and Arreola step inside the ring, I don't think it goes 12.
I agree. I agree. As we look at Garnica, the sharpshooter, boom. Down goes Bazzi.
Yeah, that was in the first round, the only knockdown of the fight. Nice right hand there by Garnica.
It's that left. He's a southpaw, and he was leaving it low. Garnica took advantage of it. There we go again. Maybe a little wide. Maybe that's where he got hurt. A little wide punch there by Garnica. Be interesting to see if that right hand is okay. Because like we mentioned, those last two rounds he didn't use it. Yeah, now he's favoring it. He's actually looking at it.
All right, so we have the decision. We send it up to ring announcer. Here is Miguel Flores.
All right, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges are in agreement, 40-35 for your winner by unanimous decision. And still undefeated, Anthony Garnica.
So 40-35 unanimous across the board. Anthony Garnica improves to 6-0 over Jesse Bazzi. They made the correct call, and as we thought, Felix.
No, definitely. He showed a lot. This Anthony Garnica is a nice prospect here. Learned a lot from this fight, and he moves on.
And Eddie Reynoso is 1-0. Will he be undefeated after our main event with Andy Ruiz and Chris Arreola?
Yes, we'll definitely see that.
Our opening match in the books. And let's go back and revisit what was an eventful weigh-in yesterday as we get ready for Andy Ruiz, Chris Arreola later tonight on Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view.
Chris the Nightmare Arreola. And now introducing his opponent with a record of 33 wins and 2 losses, 22 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is boxing's first heavyweight champion of Mexican heritage from Imperial Valley, California, Andy the Destroyer Ruiz. Well, fans, this WBA heavyweight world title eliminator scheduled 12 rounds of boxing. First to the scale at this time, the hard-hitting world rank contender, Chris the Nightmare Arreola. 228.5 pounds, 228.5 pounds for Chris the Nightmare Arreola. And now his opponent ready to step onto the scale, the former unified heavyweight champion of the world, the new Andy the Destroyer Ruiz. 256 pounds for Andy Ruiz, 256 pounds.
Andy Ruiz weighed in at 256. Shawn, what did you take away from that weigh-in?
Both of these guys worked hard. It takes hard work to get where we get, and both guys, you can tell they worked hard for this moment. You definitely do see.
There they are, ladies and gentlemen. Andy the Destroyer Ruiz, Chris the Nightmare Arreola. It's the main event at our Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view 12 rounds WBA heavyweight world title eliminator.
A little fun, a little jovial behavior here on stage before we go, but 228.5 pounds. Chris, that is the lightest you have ever weighed in your career. We have to go back to 2006. You weighed in at 229. So what do you think will be the difference in this fight given this drastic weight cut?
Hard work. Hard work, dedication. You know, a la Mayweather, man, that's all it took. I just worked hard every day. I listened to whatever Joe said, whatever Wally said, you know, we're there working. So this weight means nothing to me. All that matters is the hard work that I put in, and I'm ready for tomorrow. I'm more than ready than I've ever been.
You said the weight was just a byproduct of the hard work. In comparison to your record-setting performance against Adam Kovnatsky, how do you feel different coming into this one?
You know, we put in the work. We worked 3-4 times harder than that fight because I knew that Andy was coming for my head. I knew that Andy has been working hard. As you could tell, he's in great condition himself. So this calls for a great performance and a great night of boxing. And everybody that doubted me, you're going to see on Saturday.
Final words for Andy Ruiz.
Let's put on a great show for our Mexican fans, for all the boxing fans in the world.
Excellent. Best of luck to you. Thank you, Chris. We'll head over to the former unified heavyweight champion of the world, Andy Ruiz Jr. Andy, Shawn Porter called you sexy.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
You know, in terms of this weigh-in day, obviously when you were in Saudi Arabia, we knew you weighed in at 283.5 pounds. Today you come in at 256. How was this weigh-in different, and how is that affecting your mindset coming into this fight?
It's all the hard work and dedication, you know, and ever since I went over there with Eddie and Canelo, you know, it's all about being disciplined, not just inside the ring, but outside of the ring. So that's why we had to make a change. And, you know, I could have dropped even more, but I felt really strong at 256. So I feel amazing.
You know, in terms of the power, I know a lot of people say you lose that weight, perhaps you lose that power. I spoke to Eddie just before the weigh-in, and he said, in fact, he thinks you have more power because of this weight difference. Would you agree? And how do you...
All right, welcome back here to the preliminary portion. We now transition into the heavyweight division. That'll be a theme tonight with Andy Ruiz and Chris Arreola. But now we have Carlos Negron matching up against Scott Alexander. And quickly examining the tail of the tape, you have Negron, who's 2 years older than Alexander. Negron has 4 fights more than Alexander. And as we look at the career span, they both have been pros for nearly 12 years. And that is how they go ahead and stack up numerically from their dossiers. Now with the introductions, we send it up to ring announcer. Here is Miguel Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, the action continues here at Dignity Health Sports Park. It is all brought to you by TGB Promotions and Fox Sports. It is sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts and Proper Number 12 Irish Whiskey. The finest, the tastiest, the smoothest liquid gold in the world. Our 3 judges ringside are Damian Walton, Alejandro Rochin, and Thomas Taylor. The referee in charge of the action is Gerard White. Now we continue 8 rounds in the heavyweight division. Introducing first in the red corner, wearing the black with white trim, he weighed in at 235 pounds. With 16 victories, 8 by knockout, opposite of 3 defeats and 2 draws, fighting out of Los Angeles, California, please welcome Scott the One Alexander. And across the ring, introducing in the blue corner, wearing the black with gold trim, he weighed in at 235.8 pounds. With 22 victories, 18 by knockout, opposite of 3 defeats, fighting out of Miami, Florida, by way of San Juan, Puerto Rico, please welcome the hard-hitting Carlos Negron.
So Carlos Negron, the native of Puerto Rico, he was a 2008 Olympian for Puerto Rico, won his first fight, but then it came up short to Kazakhstan's Yurkubian Shalaniev at the 2008 Olympics in Beijing. Incidentally, he was 183 in his pro debut, and he has fought the likes of Dominic Brazil. He lost to Brazil back in December of 2018 by 9th round knockout. And we'd go ahead and take a look at Scott Alexander. And Scott Alexander, incidentally, he fought Travis Kaufman a few years ago. And he was a late sub for Antonio Tarver, who was supposed to fight Travis Kaufman in that fight. And for Scott Alexander, he looks to make a definitive statement. He comes to us from South Central here in Los Angeles.
This is a big fight for Carlos Negron. You know, he lost that fight against Brazil, then Howard knocked him out right away. He's won 2 in a row, but he needs to look good against good competition.
Absolutely, and Carlos Negron trained under the guidance of Herman Caicedo. He has a 72% knockout percentage. Does Carlos Negron? Since losing, he lost 2 in a row, 1 to Dominic Brazil, then he lost to Brian Howard on the same card of Chris Arreola, Adam Kovnatsky in August of 2019. Since that time, though, he has won 2 straight by finish, as you talked about. A win over Robert Alfonso in March of 2020. That was right before the pandemic hit. And then he defeated Rafael Rios back on November 7th here in Los Angeles as well. So Carlos Negron, who is 34 years of age. Stiff jab there by Negron.
Comes from a family of police officers. Oh, got hit nice.
Yeah, nice jab there.
By Alexander, so he has to watch that out. Surprised, you know, under the guidance of Herman Caicedo. He's very low. His boxing gloves are very low.
Herman Caicedo, the trainer of Luis King Kong Ortiz, also on Carlos Payano, and Michel Rivera, the rising lightweight as well. He's got a nice stable down there in the Miami area, does Herman Caicedo.
You know, and the way he tells me they can't leave the training camp, he runs a tough camp.
I know esteemed boxing writer Jake Donovan is high on Herman Caicedo as well. And one thing about Herman is that he is a student of the game, and he always has his fighters ready for competition.
Carlos trying to sneak in that uppercut when Alexander leaves himself a little open. Let's see if that works for him.
So on the trunks of Scott Alexander, it says the one, and what that means is the fact that he went into a gym predominantly that was full of Hispanics, so he was the only African American in that gym, and that nickname El Uno, the one, has stuck with him throughout the entirety of his professional career.
Oh, he got hurt with that one. Nice left by Negron.
Stiff jab there by Negron, and that'll end the first.
Finding a home with that left jab is Negron at the end there against Alexander. So that shows character. He went into the gym, and everybody was Hispanic.
Yeah,
and he said, I want to train.
Most of them were speaking Spanish, and he just said, hey, I want to learn how to be a fighter. And lo and behold, he's had a professional career of over a decade, has Scott Alexander, almost 12 years to be exact.
Yep.
11 years and 10 months.
So we'll see. He has a little more speed, I think, than Negron. Oh, and the big stars are coming out.
Yeah, Chris Gilmore, who's been a legend. I mean, this guy is absolutely a legend behind the scenes. He's been a part of prize fighting for over 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah, you believe that? I remember watching him when Mike Tyson fought Peter McNeely, and Peter McNeely happens to be the brother of our esteemed producer Tom McNeely on Fox. And Tyson's walking to the ring and then gives a hand pound to Chris Gilmore as he gets ready to make his entrance during his welcome back to the ring.
Gilmore doesn't look a day over 70.
No, he doesn't.
Tames himself well.
And you know what? Carlos Negron, he doesn't look a day over 34 either. I mean, he looks to be a young, fresh fighter, even though he's been a pro for 12 years.
And he was winning that fight with Brazil. He just did not pay that much attention, or that nice right by Brazil put him to sleep. But that's what I'm telling you. A shot could end your career. And, today we're going to see a lot of fighters that really need to win tonight.
Well, this is a lot of, I would have to say, and this is a term that I don't throw out loosely or phrase, make or break, but essentially that's what it is, especially as we look at our main event with Andy Ruiz and Chris Arreola. Ruiz is coming off of dropping his title to Anthony Joshua in December of 2019. He came in overweight. There's a nice right hand by Negron, but he didn't look the part, and he had a very lackluster performance, and it's something that he is very honest and open about. He changed trainers, now with Eddie Reynoso. Has been with Eddie for over a year, and he weighed in yesterday at 256, which is a considerable drop in weight, and Alexander goes to the deck there, but that is not a knockdown. But, Ruiz is very honest. Chris Arreola says, listen, at 40 years of age, I've gotten 3 cracks at the world title. I know this is a must-win for me.
I mean, he might retire after this fight if he loses it. That's how important this fight is for Chris Arreola.
Well, it's his second fight with Joe Goosen, our colleague and legendary trainer. So I've heard from Joe and also, Jonathan Wally as well, their assistant trainer, that this is the best we've ever seen Chris Arreola. Just over the halfway point of our second round with Carlos Negron, the Olympian, and Scott Alexander. There's a right hand, a chopping right hand by Negron.
And what we do know is they're going to give an all-out effort tonight. That's for sure.
Oh, no question about it. I mean, these guys, and listen, every one of these fighters wants to steal the afternoon or the evening. They want to be the ones that people are talking about on Monday and tomorrow when people are saying, hey, did you watch that show last night? Did you watch the fights? Oh my goodness, what a performance. Oh, there's a left hook. It backed up Alexander.
Nice combination there by Carlos. Now he's attacking, protecting himself well as Alexander, but that definitely hurt him.
Gerard White watching the action as Negron has Alexander against the perimeter of the ring and on the ropes. There's a big right hand, Negron using his distance and that reach. He is considerably the bigger man in this fight, even though the weight is identical. Would you believe that, Felix?
Yes, a little gun shy there, Carlos. I think he should have gone for it, but he backed up a little bit.
There's a jab, stiff jab by Negron. That ends the second.
So in trouble was Alexander for much of that round, but he survived.
We are on to the third round. Here's a look at some of the action here.
There we go. He tags him with the left, and then he worked the body.
Oh,
nice combination there by Carlos, but Alexander held off. And then he gave him time. He gave him time to recuperate. Didn't come with nothing solid after that. Did get that one through the gloves. So Carlos, I think, won that round. Let's see what happens now.
What I like about Negron is that he whacks you. I mean, once he gets leverage, he throws that right hand, and it's just like a chopping right hand, Felix.
No, definitely. And he's the nicest guy. You talk to him, he's very mellow. We mentioned his other brothers are police officers. So
it's almost like, how can you be a fighter?
Exactly.
But he is. And would I want to get hit with the right hand by him? Absolutely not.
No. This is a great opportunity for Negron to get bigger fights.
And you know what? If you haven't gotten the pay-per-view, it's a great opportunity to get the pay-per-view. We are 3.5 hours away until we hit the air live on Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view. Ray Flores, Felix De Jesus here in Los Angeles. We're at Dignity Health Sports Park. Carlos Negron, Scott Alexander. Negron 22-3, Alexander 16-3-2. Both men have been professionals for nearly 12 years. Negron over a 12-year pro. Alexander coming up on his 12th year as a professional. The pay-per-view is cheaper than most. It is a better value. An all-Mexican extravaganza coming your way at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time as we begin the Cinco de Mayo holiday.
So Alexander's looking to land that uppercut when they get in close. And then what's working for Carlos is that left.
Well, they're urging Alexander to attack the body of Negron.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Carlos is in the best shape of his life, but that might be something that Alexander might want to consider, knowing that Carlos has tagged him a couple of times with that left jab.
Just over the halfway mark. Hey, don't forget, follow us on social media at PBC on Fox, at Premier Boxing. Use the hashtag Ruiz and Arreola all night long. There's a right hand over the top by Alexander. Under 90 seconds remaining here in the third. And Felix, the sun is shining, fans are in attendance. You and I are ringside. Life is good, my friend.
Can't get it any better than this.
We got Ruiz and Arreola, two heavyweights that are going to go and swing and go toe-to-toe at one another. You got Abel Ramos, Omar Figueroa Jr. Figueroa said he's going to stop Ramos 6 rounds or less. There's a right hand backing up Scott Alexander.
Figueroa, both Omar and his brother.
Yeah, Brandon Figueroa.
Brandon will be fighting soon also.
Be fighting right inside this venue in 2 weeks' time against Luis Neri.
Tough fight also. Yeah, and that's a Fundora also fighting tonight.
The Towering Inferno, 6'6". There's a right hand backing up Scott Alexander. And now it's apparent that the physical attributes of Negron are starting to wear down Alexander.
Yes. He still needs to be careful.
There's a left hook to the body by Negron.
That's how he got caught with a right against Brazil, did Negron, so he needs to watch out. Maybe that's why he's a little gun shy when he thinks he hurts Scott.
Final moments of the third. You are watching the PBC on Fox pay-per-view preliminary prelim show. And there's a right hand, and Alexander might have wobbled Negron.
Yep, that's the big problem with Negron. He leaves himself wide open. And Alexander came with a nice right. Let's see if he's okay. Alexander got a second win. Here we go at the end of this third round. Negron was dominating, and then Alexander trying to connect with that right. He sees an opening, and it was the left.
It was the left hook. It was the left. So again, I tell the audience that, you know, because of the shadows, sometimes we can see, or sometimes we're a little bit, there's that left hook. And he might have been off balance as well, too, Felix.
Yeah. It was practically around the ear area, and then when they hit you with that, you start seeing stars.
And you know what? You're going to see the stars tonight on pay-per-view. A great value, an all-Mexican extravaganza. You know, to begin the pay-per-view, Felix, Jesus Ramos, he's won 5 straight by knockout. He's 20 years of age, taking on the 2008 Olympian in Javier Molina. And you know the Molina family, they are entrenched in boxing. So I'm curious to see if Jesus Ramos is the real deal, then he goes out and can potentially stop Javier Molina tonight.
That'll be coming up shortly. I mean, it's a great pay-per-view.
And Molina went 1-1 last year. He defeated Amir Imam, who was a former champion at 140. And then he lost to Jose Pedraza. So Molina looking to get back in the win column against Jesus Ramos in our opening pay-per-view fight. There's a left hook that connected by one. Scott Alexander, Ray Flores, Felix de Jesus, and Alexander is starting to gain some steam here, Felix.
Starting to take control of this fight now, covering up well. Negron's gloves are a little too low, and he's starting to capitalize there.
Could it be a sign that he's starting to wear down? That being the question.
Let's see. For Negron, this fight means so much. He needs a victory tonight.
He needs a victory in order to stay relevant within, you know, the top 20 in the heavyweight division and get those bigger financial opportunities against, there's a couple of right hands by Negron. Every single fight on this card is significant because the winner will move on to bigger and more high-profile fights, and that's exactly what they're trying to do in their career, especially now with fans coming back to arenas. I mean, now things are really starting to open up in boxing, figuratively and literally.
No, and if Negron wins, there's so many fights that could be made with him, maybe Wilder. So he did slow down in this fourth round a bit.
No doubt about it. And now Alexander sort of languishing on the ropes, but Negron coming forward.
There we go. He seems like he got a little second win there, Negron. Let's see if that holds true.
I gotta tell you, Felix, I love this venue, Dignity Health Sports Park, the sort of what they call it in the inner circles of prize fighting is the war grounds, because you always get exciting fights inside this venue.
It's like a gladiator look here.
It really is. I mean, it reminds me of dating back to the gladiator days because of, you know, the concrete all over, how close in proximity the fans are, how loud they are, how passionate they are, and they want all action is what they want in this venue.
Yes, although there's, of course, limited fans because of the COVID thing, you're going to feel like there's going to be a full house tonight.
Without a doubt. Nice jab there by Negron. As Scott Alexander looking for his opening. Don't forget, we go live on Fox coming up at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific time, before the pay-per-view at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time. And that'll end the fourth round. We're halfway home.
And then even the Fox fights are great. Lamanna and Lara. I'm interested in that one.
Yeah, Lamanna has stated that he's going to knock out Erislandy Lara. Lara trying to become a 3-division world champion. He said, okay, try to do that. I'm going to finish you off. Samson Lukowitz, great to see Samson himself.
Yeah,
he's the promoter of Sebastian Fundora. Great to see one of the best minds in all of boxing. He happened to be the one to discover Manny Pacquiao, Sergio Martinez, David Benavidez, and this is what you can look forward to live on Fox at Erislandy Lara Thomas Lamana, and Eduardo Ramirez, Isaac Avalar.
I like Ramirez a lot. He's looked good in his last couple of fights.
Absolutely.
So it is like another little appetizer. Tune into Fox, get these little 2 fights, and then order the pay-per-view.
Look, the best barbecues in the world are ones that go all day and all night long, and that's exactly what we give you on today's card. We're giving you over 7 hours of fights.
It's not hamburgers, it's steak.
It's literally, it's steak, it's carne asada, it's guacamole, it's chips. If you're 21 and over, it's beverages, adult beverages. Just enjoy and relax and enjoy this buffet of boxing. Ray Flores, Felix De Jesus sitting comfortably here ringside. There's a right hand with Carlos Negron. Carlos Negron, the 2008 Olympian from Puerto Rico, taking on the veteran in Scott Alexander. Most notable fight coming at the hands of Travis Kaufman. Scott Alexander, 32 years of age.
Yeah, he's smiling there, Negron is, but Alexander's tagging him, so you better be careful. All right, he has him in the corner. This is where Alexander does not want to be.
And Alexander fought Travis Kaufman nearly 3 years ago in Lancaster, California. He lost by majority decision. Travis Kaufman, the same guy that fought to a no decision against Chris Arreola back in December of 2017, I believe.
So he's been in there with some competition.
Yeah, he has been. I mean, Chris Arreola, Luis Ortiz as well. Jab there by Scott Alexander. There's a right hand by Alexander, but he got clipped with a counter uppercut.
Yeah, Alexander looks much more loose now than when he started this fight.
He's a lot more relaxed than Gerard Wright saying about the...
Make you believe he's hurt. He's not hurt.
No. There's a right hand over the top by Negron, backing up Alexander.
Pretty even round here. His 5th round here.
Well, it's ebb and flow action here in this fight. It's a nice jab at backed up Scott Alexander.
So it's interesting in Lara's fight, he's moving up.
Yeah, he's going up to 160. I asked him why. He said he just wants to test himself and he wants to see where he is and potentially capture a 3rd world title. Or a world title in a 3rd division, I stand corrected. So he went ahead and he's going up to 160. We'll see how Lara fares there. And his opponent tonight, Thomas Lamana from New Jersey. Lamana extremely focused and determined. He knows that he has the opportunity of his life.
If he does win, it's like the doors open up for Lamana. You can see that on Fox.
Absolutely. Coming up at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific time. That is in under 90 minutes from now. And that ends the 5th.
So losing a little steam in this fight is Carlos. Alexander has picked it up, I would say, the last two rounds.
Yeah, he has been.
So let's see what Herman is telling him in the corner. He knows he has to, the boxer has to pick it up. They're working on him. Just told him he's, you know, he's still strong, so let's see.
It's interesting that Scott Alexander, he got interested in boxing in 2008. He was a 5th-year senior in Rancho Verde High School. And, you know, his football coach told him about All-American heavyweights. And, you know, he just decided to get into this program. And, you know, Charles Martin, Gerald Washington, Dominic Brazil, all alums of this program created by Michael King, who I believe has since passed away. And, you know, they went ahead and created that program, and, you know, it's burned off in some quality professional fighters.
Yes, definitely. So now we start the 6th round.
You know what's interesting also is that Alexander turned pro without having fought in the amateurs. I mean, he didn't have not one single amateur fight that Scott Alexander. And now Alexander looking across Carlos Negron, unloading. They're letting the fist fly here. Look at Alexander go. He's pouring it on. Carlos Negron. Love the determination.
Negron can survive this. Maybe he'll find in second half of this round, a tired Alexander. But Alexander definitely came out looking for the knockout.
Love the tenacity and the fire in the belly of Scott Alexander, the 32-year-old from South Central Los Angeles. Back comes Negron. Look at this action. Negron backs him up with the right hand.
See, this action is what we're going to see in the pay-per-view in the 4 fights. But like every round.
It's a little appetizer is what you're getting. Look at Negron go. He's throwing a lot of punches. Alexander sort of doing the, some Ali-esque sort of defense. He had his hands down. He was bobbing and weaving.
Yeah, so did Alexander throw a lot of punches at the first half of this round, and can Negron capitalize? Let's see.
I wonder if that was by design. I couldn't believe. And now Negron pouring it on Alexander. Alexander, I wonder if he's playing possum or if he's really getting unloaded upon.
You can't tell. 2 or 3 times he's tried to go Negron, and now he comes with a couple of left jabs there. This is a fight. This turned out to be a great fight.
This is an excellent enthralling matchup between Carlos Negron and Scott Alexander. And it is only 5:40 on the East Coast, 2:40 here. We're only in our second fight. We still got hours to go.
Incredible. We're going to have a night and a half here.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
Now Negron got tired, see?
And now Negron looking to muscle Alexander against the ropes.
They're both dead tired, Ray. Look at this.
It is a war of attrition now inside the ring. And this one is only scheduled for 8. You know, I like 12-round fights, but I also don't mind fights that are 8 or 6 because the guys have to push the pace quicker.
They have to step it up a little bit more, yeah. That's what they did to start this 6th round, but they both got tired.
Yeah, they went out, they were unloading combinations. They both have had their moments in this 6th round. This one's scheduled for 8. Carlos Negron and Scott Alexander. Styles make fights, and I have to give a applause to the promoter, Tom Brown, for making this fight happen. Tom Brown of TGB Promotions, the promoter of tonight's event.
Oh, Tom always puts on good fights.
Tom is one of the smartest minds in all of boxing, without a doubt, and we need to get him in the Hall of Fame. And that ends the 6th. 2 more rounds to go.
Breathing heavy there, Negron in the corner. They both started this 6th round. As you see here, both in the middle of the ring. Some nice jabs there by Alexander, then started wailing away, did Negron. And they were, wow, look at the exchange, was incredible.
I mean, they were walloping upon one another.
Can't believe none of them went down. A couple of misses there. Then here we see how Negron tries to get Alexander. He did get him with a little uppercut. Back came Alexander with the right. It's a war right now. I guess whoever wins these last 2 rounds is going to win the fight. It's pretty even up to now.
This one should produce high drama in the 7th. Herman Caicedo urging on Carlos Negron. And if you like high drama, if this is what we're getting now, can you even imagine, Felix, what we're going to get with Andy Ruiz and Chris Arreola when they step inside the ring in our main event tonight on Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view?
What is it in math? Power by the 12 or something?
Yeah, power, exactly.
That's what we'll see.
Oh my goodness is what is going to be on my mind. The kind of potential combustible elements, the fireworks inside the ring tonight for our pay-per-view portion will leave you breathless. And you can join us. All you have to do, Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view. And right now on to the 7th. Negron, he's gone from southpaw to conventional. Now he's back to conventional.
He tried southpaw for a little bit. He got hit, and then he changed right away.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? I don't like that too much. And let me go back to conventional style. Conventional meaning you are leading with, you have your left there, and then your right hand is your power punch. Negron is ambidextrous, meaning he can go both ways when it comes to his stances.
His right hand is still too low in regards to Negron, something that Alexander might capitalize here in the last 2 rounds.
Wherever you're joining us around the world, we thank you so much. as we begin the Cinco de Mayo holiday here in Southern California at Dignity Health Sports Park. Ray Flores, Felix De Jesus, our ring announcer, Miguel Flores. Midway point of round number 7. The pay-per-view comes your way in just over 3 hours' time with Andy Ruiz and Chris Arreola. Fox portion coming your way in an hour and 14 minutes.
And this is really the celebration week end, because, you know, after that, it'll be after May 5th, so you got to take advantage today.
Enjoy it now. Enjoy it throughout the week, but start it off with us. 65 seconds to go. So round 7 has settled into more of a boxing match. The 6th was more of a fight. This is more of a boxing match here, but still, I think both men are trying to conserve energy, Felix, for that push down the stretch.
Yes, I think so. That last round, they're going to go all out. And this round, he's been attacking, but nothing much, has Negron. Alexander holding well.
Just crazy to think that Negron was a 2008 Olympian, had over 100 amateur fights. Scott Alexander didn't have one amateur fight and turned pro and was undefeated for his first 10 fights.
I guess that was his amateur beginning.
Yeah, literally. Learning on the job. And coming up next in our prelim portion, Adrian Granados in action against Jose Sanchez.
Oh, good fight.
Final stages of the 7th.
So the pay-per-view will be 4 fights.
The 4-fight pay-per-view, starting off with Jesus Ramos, 20 years of age, who's the nephew of Abel Ramos. He matches up against Javier Molina, and this is how the pay-per-view will stack itself out. Jesus Ramos, who's won 5 straight by knockout. He has a knockout percentage of 92%, takes on Javier Molina. This man, Sebastian Fundora, 6'6", takes on Jorge Cota, but you know that Cota packs a whale of a punch.
Yeah, definitely. He says that Charlo is the one that's hit him the hardest, but he's going to find out something tonight. But I like Cota. Cota could be here the wild card in that fight, and then Figueroa Jr., who says he'll show his fans what he's really about against a very able Abel Ramos, and of course the big plate, Andrew Ruiz Jr. against Chris Arreola.
That fight will not go the distance in my estimation, as Ruiz weighed in at 256. Arreola weighed in the lightest of his professional career. He weighed in at 228 yesterday at the weigh-in, Felix.
No, in shape, in super shape, both of them.
8th and final round between Carlos Negron, the 2008 Olympian from Puerto Rico, taking on Scott Alexander, who has been a pro for nearly a dozen years, who comes to us from South Central Los Angeles.
I think both of them are looking for the knockout right here.
I mean, I would hate to be a judge in this particular fight, Felix, because I think, you know, just looking at it from afar, I would have to say that Negron will probably have the edge, but Alexander's put up a very good fight tonight.
Definitely. Maybe he lost the first round, but he picked it up a lot, did Alexander, and he's looking of winning this fight. He's attacking now.
Now, mind you, I'm not a judge. I don't pretend to be a judge, so when I say what I'm looking at, you know, I'm not judging every single round, because you know that social media loves to criticize and say, how can you say that?
He thinks he's a judge.
He thinks he's a judge. What is he looking at? Well, I'm looking at a fun night of fights is what I am. And Carlos Negron and Scott Alexander continue to go at it. And you know what, Felix? With the first 2 fights, all 4 fighters are giving maximum effort.
They are. And I think Mikey put it well yesterday in the weigh-in.
Yes.
He says, you know, there's a lot of people that are going to be seeing these fights. They work so hard, and they want their boxers to work hard. So it's ingrained. They do want to work hard for their fans.
Look, I know that, and we are at the midway point of this 8th and final round. The way that things have gone, life has been tough, is, you know, all over the world, especially here in the United States. A couple right hands, a left hook there by Negron. We'll get into the point about your hard-earned dollar, but right now, both men are really working hard with Negron and Alexander.
Yeah, he just needs to finish a little better, Carlos does. Nice little combinations, and then he just holds off a little bit.
There's a right hand backing up Alexander. Negron looking to tee off upon the 32-year-old. Under a minute to go here in the 8th.
Yeah, he has to let it go. Both of them in this last minute.
Final 45 seconds. Henry Ramirez urging on Scott Alexander, and incidentally, Ramirez used to be the former trainer of Chris Arreola. Oh, they were together for quite some time. Well, who is going to make that last surge in this 8th and final round?
Does Negron think he has in the bag, or?
I mean, listen, with the way that judging has been in prize fighting, you would want to win every single round because you don't know how the judges might see it.
But they were both game today, which is great.
They gave solid efforts, and that ends the fight. A fun matchup to begin what we are watching here at Dignity Health Sports Park. A very good afternoon to all of you for just joining us on the social media pages for PBC on Fox and Premier Boxing Champions. And Felix de Jesus, here is a look at what transpired.
Yeah, there we go. Attacking does Carlos, but Alexander also moving well. A couple of lefts there that tagged, but then he kind of let him go, you know, and then Alexander started attacking. So we'll see what the judges think, but tremendous fight here in the prelims.
Our judges in this fight, Damian Walton, Alejandro Rochin, and Thomas Taylor. And the name Thomas Taylor might ring a bell because he is a quality referee inside the ring. He will be, Thomas Taylor will actually be the referee for Lada and La Mana tonight.
Oh, it's Tom?
Yeah, Thomas Taylor will be the referee in charge.
He's always in tremendous shape.
He really is. He's in great shape as the referee. And these two gentlemen, they're in fighting shape as they were really throwing punches and bunches.
Yes, they were.
During pockets of the fight.
We'll see what happens. They're both going to sleep like babies tonight.
I'm sure. I'm sure they're going to be a little bit bruised because, you know, they both absorbed some power punches.
Yes.
Here's an interesting thing to look at too, Felix, is that it has taken a little while longer to tabulate the scorecards. My brother Miguel has now got the scorecards, but it took him a little while to tabulate it. So I wonder if we might be in line for a split decision or something like that. When it takes a little bit longer to give the scorecard to the ring announcer, that might mean that you have it going either way. So
Miguel's serious face doesn't
he's
tell you
looking
anything.
at the scorecards to process it. Okay, who won? Carlos Negron or Scott Alexander? We send it to ring announcer. Here is Miguel Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 8 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Damian Walton had it 77-75. Judge Alejandro Rochin had it 78-74. And Judge Thomas Taylor had it 79-73. All 3 judges in agreement for your winner by unanimous decision, Carlos Negron.
So Carlos Negron with the victory. The judges look at it like this. Damian Walton, 77-75. Alejandro Rochin, 78-74. Thomas Taylor, 79-73. I think the right man won. Alexander, though, did give and put up a valiant effort.
No, he definitely did. I think the first judge was more accurate.
Yeah,
you know?
Damian Walton, 77-75. From our vantage point, it looked to be a closer fight, but nonetheless, the right man did win the fight. Carlos Negron improves to 23-3. Ray Flores, Felix de Jesus, just kicking off the afternoon and evening here. Don't forget, Andy Ruiz and Chris Arreola go live on Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view. That is coming your way at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time. And we are going to go and take a closer look at how Andy Ruiz Jr. and Chris Arreola prepared themselves for battle in our main event later tonight.
This is PBC Fight Camp. Andy Ruiz Jr. versus Chris Arreola. Legacy. For Andy Ruiz, when he reached out to the best fighter of this era, Saul Canelo Alvarez, Ruiz thought that he would glean Alvarez's knowledge. And the working relationship between the two Mexican champions has pushed Andy, whose work crafts his legacy.
The Mexican style, it's a big drama show, you know? We don't like to give up. We go in there, we're bleeding, but we're still fighting to the death. We're not scared of any other fighter. We like to bang, you know? There is a different style of Mexican boxing. We come forward, we get hit, but we give back. At the Canelo Gym, we try to perfect every single thing that we do.
Para esta no es rapidez, esta es fuerza. Esta es fuerte. Que sientes que se lo clavas. Ahí está, huesa, así. Ahí se ve la diferencia. Eso, que se lo clavas así.
Here, we try to bob and weave a lot. We try to counter punch a lot. It's a lot of different ways that we change the Mexican style of boxing.
Por eso compré un chaleco antibalas. Para que me cubra aquí y no me duela.
Everything they try to teach me or tell me, I try to stick into my head, and I don't take nothing for granted since I'm here, and I'm learning from the best.
Ahí, güey.
I'm training every day, hard. I'm gonna give it my all.
We're working hard. We're not just, doing light stuff in here.
As fight night approaches, Chris Arreola and trainer Joe Goosen work together in an effort where Goosen's vast knowledge and behind-the-scenes work is designed to lead Arreola towards success.
I watched a little Andy last night. I think we're addressing all the salient points. It's all going according to plan right now. Chris is a veteran. He's a warrior. He's a game player. So when he goes in the ring at fight night, the switch goes on. He's going to fight you. It's going to be a big part of this, keeping our hands up good. Getting them back fast and keeping them in tight. You got to work for it. He's working harder. He's training longer. A lot of heavy bag work. A lot of mitts, a lot of shadow boxing, a lot of sparring. Bottom line, if they're in the best shape that they've both been in for quite a while, there's gonna be fireworks.
It's gonna be non-stop rock'em sock'em Mexican fighters giving their all to win a fight.
In boxing, where you come from shapes what and who you are, and the legacy that you hope to leave. These two fighters both strived and worked toward becoming the first Mexican-American heavyweight champion. For Chris Arreola, he tried 3 times and learned the lesson of never giving up.
I live for this. I love what I do, and I'm still an elite fighter. I'm a blessed man to be a boxer at this age.
While Andy Ruiz achieved that pinnacle,
Andy Ruiz is the heavyweight champion.
It was only for a short time.
My last fight, I did not do the things that I was supposed to do. So now that I made a change in my life, this is a new beginning for me.
These two warriors' shared heritage has shaped their journeys. And their commonality is the fact that neither will let failure define them. On May 1st in Carson, California, Andy Ruiz Jr. and Chris Arreola will look to find their truths and craft the next chapter of what will be their legacy.
We are back here in the Los Angeles area in 8-round welterweight matchup. Our main event here on our prelim portion between Adrian Granados and Jose Sanchez. Ray Flores, Felix De Jesus. For the official introductions, we send it to our ring announcer. Here is Miguel Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, the action continues from Dignity Health Sports Park here in Carson, California. Brought to you by TGB Promotions and Fox Sports. Sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts and Proper Number 12 Irish Whiskey. The finest, the tastiest, the smoothest liquid gold in the world. The three judges ringside are Edward Hernandez Sr., Carla Cais, Ron Scott Stevens. The referee in charge of the action is Sharon Sands. This bout will be 8 rounds in the welterweight division. Introducing first in the red corner, wearing the gold with white trim. He weighed in at 146.2 pounds. With 11 victories, 4 by knockout, and just 1 defeat out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Please welcome Jose El Güero Sanchez. And across the ring, his opponent in the blue corner, wearing the black with silver trim. He weighed in at 146.6 pounds. With 21 victories, 15 by knockout, opposite of 8 defeats and 2 draws. Fighting out of Chicago, Illinois, by way of Cicero, Illinois. Please welcome the hard-hitting and exciting Adrian El Tigre Granados.
It was a great fight here. Step up for Jose Sanchez.
No question. What an ovation for Adrian Granados.
He's been a warrior. He really has. We're going to go down the list of fighters that he's fought. But
he's a throwback fighter, is Adrian Granados. Make no mistake about it.
Chicago, right?
He is a Chicago boy. What's interesting, and we get ready for Adrian Granados, Jose Sanchez. I ring announced Adrian Granados' main event against Jaime Herrera back in February of 2012, and now lo and behold, with what he's seen in his career, what he's done, main events against the likes of Shawn Porter, Adrian Broner, fought Danny Garcia here, and Garcia was the first man to stop him, but he does have a difficult opponent in him against Jose Sanchez. Jose Sanchez is 11-1 is his record. Jose Sanchez, someone that you cannot take lightly, and both men come from very strong fighting cities. When you look at Jose Sanchez, he's the brother of Jason Sanchez, who fought Oscar Valdez in 2019, started combat sports doing taekwondo as a kid. In 2012 won a New Mexico State Amateur title and represented New Mexico at the USA Boxing Nationals.
Ooh.
So
I'm surprised he doesn't have or doesn't show that knockout power during his career, but he's thrown some haymakers at Granados.
Yes, he is coming strong. A big thank you to Jorge Hernandez for those tidbits. He has the New Mexico scene covered when it comes to Jose Sanchez. Adrian Granados been away from the ring for quite some time, and Sanchez looking to push the pace early.
Granado, of course, has the pedigree. He's been against some tough fighters, some elite fighters.
Top of the food chain when you look at Shawn Porter, Danny Garcia, Adrian Broner, but look at Jose Sanchez go.
Sanchez showing a lot in this fight so far. It's early.
Couple of Mexican fighters going at it, huh? A preview of things to come for our all-Mexican pay-per-view extravaganza coming your way on Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view.
Probably what you're going to see a lot in that pay-per-view.
Oh, you're going to see a lot of big punches and a lot of wars. Felix, very rarely do we see a card, and I'm going to be honest with the audience as we're under a minute to go, where you look at every fight and you're going to say, okay, that could be a boxing match. We're going to get a fight in this one. Boxing match here, you know, some pockets of action, but is it going to be all action all the time? I look at Molina and Ramos, I think action. I think Fundora, Cota, guaranteed action. Figueroa, Ramos, co-main event, guaranteed action.
They're not going to take
Ruiz,
rounds off.
Arreola, guaranteed action.
Yep. This is what we're going to be seeing.
A left hook
It's a little prelude.
for Granados, backing up Sanchez.
What a fight so far here. Granados, whoa, he's not winning those exchanges. So Sanchez has shown a lot in this first round.
There's a left hook there by Sanchez. The action intensifying here.
Max Barra says hi to you. He said he's preparing the barbecue, as you told him.
Oh, I love it. You know, it's great to, I'm glad he's enjoying himself, and, you know, he can enjoy a few beverages for us as we are here ringside.
Yes, we're not allowed.
No, we're not
You're
allowed.
allowed to order the pay-per-view and
yes,
enjoy
you are.
this Saturday, which is beautiful.
What beautiful weather. Okay,
East
so
Coast is nice, too.
So if I'm at your palatial estate here in New York, or in the New York, New Jersey area, what are you cooking? If you weren't working today, what are you going to be cooking, Felix?
Now we're going to put some steak.
Some steak, okay.
Yeah. Not going to lie, a little adult beverage.
Oh, I like it.
Probably
okay.
some tequila.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe some proper 12.
Oh, I like that.
And get ready for the fight.
I agree. So if I was, you know, I like watching fights, particularly at my parents' house. My dad, you know, he raised me with boxing and stuff. You know, my grandfather, you know.
There's history there.
Yeah, there's a lot of history, but my dad makes the best carne asada in the world. A little lime, he has it beautifully. You know, have a couple of adult beverages as well. So that, to me, is how we get ready. Some guacamole as well, my mom's famous rice, and away we go.
Maybe a little pool. I'm not going to die.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
you know.
Can't go wrong with that.
And then with the Fox app, you can also see it on the big screen, right?
You can watch it, you know, on your smart TV. And you know what I'm seeing people doing now is they got TVs outside as well.
Yeah.
That's something that I need to do. I know you got a big TV outside. You know, you got the.
It's like a mirror
crocodiles out
image
there.
or something that
Yeah.
you can just get the pay-per-view and then transfer it to the big TV.
FoxSports.com/PPV. You can watch it on any device, any smart TV. Get yourself taken care of. But right now we're taking care of you with Agent Granados, Jose Sanchez. These guys are firing.
Yeah. See, now this is where the experience kicks in. Ray, he saw what Sanchez had in that first round, and now he's more calm. Granados is starting to connect.
Jose Sanchez, his brother fought for the world title against Oscar Valdez. There's a nice right hand by Granados. Granados' lead trainer, George Hernandez, who's been a staple in Chicago boxing for well over 25 to 30 years. There's a nice right hand there by Granados.
Granados had a lengthy amateur record, 75-12. He was on the, he was a reserve for the Mexican Olympic team, so there's experience, heart, a lot from Granados.
Yeah, Granados is coming off of the loss to Robert Easter Jr. in October of 2019. That was in Pennsylvania. Good body shots there by Granados. He gets walloped, though, by Sanchez as he came forward.
Sanchez showing he belongs. Definitely with that first round. Taking some shots also from Adrian.
Big right hand there by Granados, followed by a left hook to the body. I've never seen Adrian Granados in a boring fight in my life. I mean, this is pretty much, his style hasn't changed. He fights like this all the time. There's a big right hand spraying Sanchez. I will say, though, that his defense has gotten better.
No, it has. He was beating Fortuna to a pulp, and Fortuna,
he was.
he sneaked out of that fight.
Yeah, so Fortuna ended up, and this is back when Errol Spence fought Carlos Ocampo in June of 2019, and Fortuna ended up languishing on the second rope and went outside, hit his head. But right now, Granados teeing off upon Jose Sanchez. Agent Granados is the kind of guy that it doesn't matter what the record, he's a throwback fighter because he's willing to take on anybody and everybody.
Yeah. We might just be seeing a younger Sanchez. He's not that young, 28, but a younger fighter taking control. Granados has been in a lot of wars.
Oh, he has been. I mean, no doubt about it, but I mean, he's still coming out with this ferocity, and he's just coming forward. On to round two. This is the kind of fight, though, Felix, as we're just seeing the first two rounds. I'm almost disappointed that it's only 8 rounds because I wouldn't mind watching these guys fight for 12 rounds. Can you imagine?
Yeah, unbelievable.
Round 2 in the books.
Tigre Granados there in the corner.
And Tigre means what, Felix?
Tiger.
Oh, that's right. Our translator himself.
As we see here some action right in the center of the ring. Oh, he threw that right, did not land, and then Granados came back with a couple of combinations inside. So Granados at 31 years old, still showing he has a lot left. It's about time Granados, if he does win this fight, you know, to not come second against some of these big boys that he's fought. He deserves it. He's been up, you know, but he's given boxing a lot.
He is a fighter that you recollect when you hear about those names of guys who fought everybody, and you look at Jose Sanchez as well, no doubt getting a very good opportunity here against Adrian Granados. Don't forget foxsports.com/PPV. Join us on Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view. A couple of left hooks there by Jose Sanchez to begin the third round. Ray Flores, Felix De Jesus. The sun is shining here at Dignity Health Sports Park, also known as the War Grounds.
But it's not burning, which is good.
Oh, no.
No, we're not going to get a suntan from now on.
No, we won't. I mean, but I tell you what, it will be burning up inside that ring coming up at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time, especially when we go live with the pay-per-view.
Most definite.
They're going to be throwing a lot of punches and bunches. Granados looking to close the distance. Chopping right hand by Granados. Granados unloading upon Jose Sanchez. Sanchez throws a combination. Chicago against Albuquerque, two cities that are known to produce tough fighters.
Sanchez in the Johnny Tapia mode.
Oh yeah, Johnny Tapia, Danny Romero as well. From the women's standpoint, Holly Holm. Spent a lot of time down in Albuquerque doing club shows and local MMA events, and I can tell you that the fans out there, much like Chicago, are passionate, they're loud, and they support fighters that give their all.
Oh, shout out then to them.
Love Albuquerque. Love Chicago, my hometown.
You look like you had a good time in Albuquerque.
Oh, I did. I had a great time. I have a good time in Chicago, too, and maybe even a better time here in SoCal.
Ooh.
Big right hand by Granados, snapping back the head of Sanchez.
This kid's tough. Sanchez is tough. Took a nice blow there by Granados. Didn't even budge. Oh!
Big shots! Oh my goodness, the action is really picking up. There's an uppercut by Sanchez. Granados swarming Sanchez. Oh, big left hook there by Granados. Under a minute to go here in the third.
That stung him. He got out of there.
Holy mackerel!
This inside fighting really benefits Granado now.
Sanchez has hurt Granados on the offensive. This is the main event of our prelim portion. Wait until the pay-per-view tonight.
This is what you're gonna get.
Oh man.
Oh, Granados is unstoppable. Oh, there we go, Sanchez again. They're both working inside. It's favoring Granados right now. Let's see if he lost some steam there now, and Sanchez could try to make up some ground.
I think Granados might be tired.
Yep.
I mean, maybe that's just me, but he is now. They're both. I don't know. Sanchez is initiating the holding. There's a right hand that missed by Sanchez. A left hook there by Granados. A left hook to the body by Granados. Final moments. This third round has been absolutely scintillating action. Call your family, call your friends, let them know to tune into the PBC on Fox social media pages. We got a heck of a fight.
It'll be history tonight. You don't want to miss it.
What a matchup thus far. And in less than 3 hours, we go live. Fox Sports, PBC pay-per-view.
There we go inside. Granados got the best out of this one, but Sanchez was wailing away. And there was that left hook you mentioned, Ray, that hurt him for a little moment there, and then Sanchez was smart enough to get out of that corner. Still hurting a little bit. They were going at it. Here we go, back in the center now. Sanchez with his second win. Gonna try to stay away for a little bit. Granados kept pounding away. Wow, what job was he doing there? More body work by Granados.
They are really giving their all, Felix. I mean, this is just fun stuff.
He's fresh. both of them.
Look at this. Granados is literally at the center of the ring, both guys.
It's like, what, like his name? Like a tiger trying to attack right away.
They both are going at it. You know, you have two fighters who come from rich fighting cities, and they are just unloading. They're of Mexican descent. I don't think it matters to these two guys if they're making $1 or $100,000. They're going to fight the same way all the time.
In a parking lot or on the big stage?
Doesn't matter. Granados attacking the body of Sanchez. There's a right hand that buckled the knees of Jose Sanchez. We'll see if Granados can go on the attack. Sharon Sands watching the action.
Whatever happens, this is going to be a tremendous experience for Sanchez.
It's been a tremendous experience for us watching this ringside.
Exactly.
And for the viewers at home, wherever you are around the world. And now Sanchez, he was backing up and he almost lost his balance. I told you something about Dignity Health Sports Park where you get some battles. And this is only our third fight of the night. But back comes Sanchez. Sanchez on the attack. He's unloading, teeing off on Granados. But back comes Granados. Big shots, Granados languishing on the ropes. He's eating big shots, but back he goes.
Referee's looking closely at Granados.
Now Granados backing up Sanchez.
Oh, he got hurt. He's hurt.
Granados might be hurt.
Yep. Looks like that body shot.
Eats a right hand on the chin. He's backpedaling. Here comes Sanchez.
Needs some time to recuperate here, does Granados.
You cannot give Adrian Granados one moment of time to recover because he has taken big shots from the best in the world. But Sanchez bringing the heat from New Mexico. Sanchez's nose is bloody. Granados has taken big power shots here in this fourth round. Under a minute to go here in the fourth.
If you like boxing, this is what you're going to see in the pay-per-view, basically.
And if you like good fights, this is what you're going to get.
Unbelievable. What heart.
It just goes to show you that, guess what? Undefeated records are great. I respect those who have it, but it's okay if you have a loss or two because you got fighters like this that give maximum effort to this degree.
That's what it's all about.
There's a right hand connecting for Granados. Well, Granados, it would seem like he's been able to gather himself, but he was wobbling a little bit in the midway point of that round, Felix.
Yes, plus when he went into that corner, he didn't look well. Now he's back to the Granados we know. He recuperated there. Man, he's really working that body. Be interesting to see if Sanchez could hold on to some of those blows as the fight progresses.
That ends the fourth. They touch gloves, and yeah, give me some more of that.
That's what I want to see if Omar Figueroa will offer that tonight.
Can you imagine what that's going to bring with Omar Figueroa, former world champion, taking on Abner Mares?
No, and he said it. You're going to see me tonight like you've never seen me before. And he's a great fighter. As we see some of the highlights of this round that just passed, Sanchez could not connect there, and then he caught Granados, brought him into the corner, and that's where it was dangerous for Granados. The referee was really looking at his health here, but then Sanchez missed a couple of punches, he got a little tired, and then Granados came over and started attacking. So that saved him there, that Sanchez did not connect, and he gave him time, the veteran, to get his head straight, and so far we're seeing a war.
And again, if you like wars, if you like fights, if you like toe-to-toe action, join us on Fox Sports, BBC pay-per-view, foxsports.com/PPV. A better value than most pay-per-views. Join us coming up in less than 3 hours, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time.
The way we're going, they might have to put that price up.
Seriously. I mean, if it was a sliding scale, you would probably have to pay more, but you get it for under $50. So join us in less than 3 hours.
Here we go. Both got their second win now.
And that could be advantageous to us, but might be bad for them.
Yes.
Because they are going to continue to go at it. First 4 rounds, and you know what? Again, and we've said this, Felix, if I'm a judge, I'd hate to be a judge in this fight.
Oh, this one, we don't know so far. I mean, even maybe? Maybe a little edge to Sanchez so far because of that good last round. But it could go either way.
What a fun matchup, our main event here in our prelim portion. top of the hour, we go live on Fox. That is Landy Lara, Thomas Lamana in our main event. 2 hours of action on Fox. Then we transition to the pay-per-view, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time. Andy Ruiz, the only Mexican to capture the heavyweight championship of the world, takes on the first man of Mexican descent to challenge for the heavyweight championship of the world, Chris Arreola.
And you know he's itching to win, does Ruiz Jr. after that, his last fight against Joshua. So
you lost Anthony Joshua, relinquished his title in December of 2019, and what he's trying to prove is that he's not just a one-hit wonder. But Chris Arreola did say in the lead-up to this fight, he wants to make Andy Ruiz this generation's Buster Douglas.
Yeah. And just wait and see what's going to happen. Don't miss it. Pay-per-view.
Just over the halfway point of the 5th. Right hands and a left hook by Adrian Granados. Granados 21, 8-2 with 15 knockouts. Sanchez 11-1 with 4 knockouts. I'm bewildered by the fact that Sanchez, and you said this earlier, Felix, that he only has 4 knockouts. With the kind of punches that he's thrown, I mean, my goodness.
Yeah, so you would think that, you know, early on he would have more knockout because he's just relentless. But it hasn't shown on paper, but what we're seeing tonight, definitely he's taking it up a second gear. Oh, nice shot there.
Good body work there by Sanchez. Back comes Granados. And you know what, Felix, with the card like this, you're seeing every single fight, by the way, on either the prelim portion here on social media, on Fox, or on the pay-per-view. I'm glad we got a nice cup of coffee as we were heading to the arena with Brian Kenny, and you know, we enjoyed ourselves getting caffeinated to call the action here.
Probably in the East Coast now, probably the barbecues are winding down. You're seeing that last piece of steak. Should I take it or not before the fight? And
indulge yourself.
Indulge yourself.
Indulge yourself. It's the weekend. YOLO.
And this night's going to be great.
Oh, without a doubt.
He'll go down in history. Watch.
Oh, I can absolutely guarantee that. Granados and Sanchez on to the 6th we go.
You can see Sanchez's reaction there. Oh, like I'm in a fight, in a real fight with Granados.
Absolutely.
This is no joke here.
This is bring your hard hat to work day and be ready to absorb some punches.
Yeah, they're working in the corner, both of them. Trying to get some air, as this has been so far rock'em sock'em.
Yeah, that's exactly what. I'm glad you said that. Rock'em sock'em robots. That's what Chris Arreola said. He goes, main event, it's going to be rock'em sock'em robots. I like that guarantee.
You know you're going to get it from all of them.
I mean, it is going to be something, and again, I highly doubt that our main event's going to go the distance. And to be honest with you, I want to see this fight. If we could push it, I'd want to see it go 15 rounds. It's been that fun to watch.
They won't last 15 rounds the way they go. This is just unbelievable.
And it's only the main event of our prelim portion. Round 6, this one is scheduled for 8. Adrian Granados and Jose Sanchez. As we kick off the Cinco de Mayo holiday with this all-Mexican extravaganza on Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view coming up at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time.
I mean, Granados does not take a break. He just goes after you.
He just comes at you.
Look at this, boom.
Like a house on fire is what he is.
Going back.
I don't think either man knows how to take a step back, Felix.
No, Sanchez is the same way. Demonstrating a little left jab there, Sanchez, but Granados does not stop.
Felix, you've been around your fair share of prize fights over the years, over the course of your career, but how special is the Cinco de Mayo holiday for fight fans?
No, it's probably maybe one or two, if not the most watched event, boxing events, because of what it means, it's significant. So, you know, I've seen a couple of great fights, but I've never seen a card filled like this one, where you're going to get, every fight's going to be action.
I was going to say, I mean, you look at our card, Jesus Ramos, nice shot there by Granados. Back comes Sanchez. You got Molina and Ramos in our opener, but look at this, Granados swarming Sanchez.
I mean, Floyd was always a big draw.
Yeah, he fought Cinco de Mayo and also Mexican Independence Day.
Yeah.
You know, Cinco de Mayo now coming to Andy Ruiz, Chris Arreola. Left hooks to the body there by Sanchez. What I love about this fight, Felix, as we are approaching 65 seconds, both men are willing to engage in a phone booth fight. And those that are, I'm showing you my age, but millennials are probably thinking, what's a phone booth? Well, it's when you'd have to pull over and make a phone call on the telephone in a small little space.
I think there's only one in New York City left.
I don't even know
and
if
it's like a museum.
But that's what they're doing. They're fighting almost in a phone booth in close quarters.
Yeah. One of the movies had it, like the Matrix had it. Some people might not know what a phone booth is.
Yeah, absolutely. Under 30 seconds to go.
Just when you think one of these guys is beat up and is not going to continue, that's when they get that second win and keep going.
It's like a cup of coffee that I need in the morning. You wake up. It's exactly what they're doing. Granados charging right after Jose Sanchez. Sanchez willing to throw a lot of punches. And this will end the 6th round. Granados looking to end with a flurry. And that ends the 6th. 2 more rounds remaining.
Hellos keep coming in Twitter. Thank you for being with us.
Oh, absolutely. On social media, we greatly appreciate you joining us. Follow us at PBC on Fox. Also at Felix De Jesus MLB. Also for me at SBR Flores. Give us your thoughts on the prelim portion thus far. This has been exciting stuff, Felix.
No, unbelievable. And this is just starting. We have packed fights on Fox all year. So it's going to be great. And
it's going to be a hot summer for boxing, I tell you that right now, Felix, especially with fans coming back.
Yes, people are craving. They want to see their fights, especially tonight, pay-per-view.
What's that song? Welcome back, welcome back. That's what we're saying to fans here in Dignity Health Sports Park. Oh, I've missed them all.
Was that Welcome Back Carter or no?
I think maybe. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm showing my age.
Round 7. This one is scheduled for 8. Adrian Granados and Jose Sanchez matching up in what has been an extremely entertaining welterweight matchup. Granados back inside the ring since October of 2019. A loss at the hands of Robert Easter Jr., a fight that he feels like he was victorious in but was robbed of. Granados pushing the pace. Easter campaigning at 140 now.
It's safe to say that of the fights we've seen tonight, this has been the one with most punches.
Well, I mean, they are, I'm sure the CompuBox guys, the Canobios, Bob and Dan and the entire Canobio family that do a great job counting the punches for CompuBox, they are probably thinking, man, oh man, these guys don't stop. Their fingers are working on overdrive.
What is it, carpal syndrome?
Something like that, carpal tunnel syndrome from hitting the button so much. A minute has elapsed here in the 7th round. And they just continue to throw caution to the wind. And there's some swelling underneath the left eye of Sanchez. The way that these guys are eating punches is how I like to do when I enjoy some carne asada tacos. I'll tell you that, Felix.
Yeah. Just a little lime and some salt. That's
oh,
it.
yeah, some lime and a little salsa, some guacamole. I'm good to go. And you're going to be good to go if you order the pay-per-view because you're going to get a tremendous night of boxing and fights coming up in less than 3 hours. Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view, foxsports.com/PPV for information.
Oh, here the big stars are coming. Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Jimmy Lennon Jr. is wearing a dapper cream coat.
Terry, our big guy there.
Absolutely.
He's also looking dapper. He also.
Security as well, handling business. And right now, Granados and Sanchez are handling business. Big right hand that missed by Granados, but an uppercut jarring the jaw of Granados by Sanchez.
They do not break. As we see Sanchez trying to take this fight outside now.
What is the phrase that they like to use? Adelante, adelante, adelante. That's what you're getting. And what does that mean, Felix, since you're our esteemed translator?
Just keep going,
That's right.
Go, keep going to the front. Just don't stop. And none of these have stopped today. What a fight.
Not at all. These 3 fights on our prelim portion here on our social media pages have been wickedly entertaining. One more round to go between Adrian Granados and Jose Sanchez. Round 7 in the books, one more round remaining.
Oh, wow, they're gonna go for it this last round. It's a tight fight right now. Can't tell who's winning. It's that close.
I'm glad I'm not paid to be a judge.
No, this one's a tough one to score. Granados, the veteran, showing a lot, that he still has a lot left. Sanchez trying to now play with the big boys here, showing himself that he can.
Well, he's certainly making Albuquerque, New Mexico proud. I tell you that. Both fighters are representing their home cities well. Got George Hernandez, who is, I like to call him the general, because he runs a very militant-like camp. You know, he used to be the trainer of the late great Ed Brown, who passed away, a young fighter from Chicago. Also used to train Josh Greer and been the longtime trainer of Adrian Granados.
Oh, he has them all set up for this last round.
No matter what the result is, Felix, I want to see both guys fight again, and I wouldn't mind seeing them both fight each other again.
Oh, wow. I mean, look at Granados. He's cheering up the crowd. He knows that this has been a war. Both of them have.
We have 3 minutes left, and let's enjoy this. And Sanchez starts off throwing haymakers. They start throwing power punches.
Oh, wow. Look at now Granados trying to get inside. Those haymakers were incredible by Sanchez starting this last round.
Yeah, these last 160 seconds of this fight are going to be very compelling between Adrian Granados and Jose Sanchez.
I agree. I want to see this fight again. Maybe a 12-rounder.
Yeah, let's see it. Why not? Let's make it on a weekday, too, so that every, you know. A double left hook upstairs by Sanchez, but back comes Granados, who unloads a right hand down the center on Sanchez. Granados, what you see is what you get. An all-action fighter all the time.
Whatever happens, this is going to make such a better fighter out of Sanchez, going into war with one of the best in Granados.
And for Granados to take this as his comeback fight. He could have taken a fighter of less opposition, but instead he said, give me a tough guy in Jose Sanchez.
He doesn't back down. He's shown it tonight. Oh, look at this exchange. It's incredible. There we go. He's trying to jab a little bit here in this final minute and a half. But Granados just keeps on top of Sanchez.
Under and a left hook that connected by Granados.
That hurt him. That hurt Granados.
Granados got clipped as he unloaded a left hook on the temple of Sanchez. There's a left hook by Granados. He's looking to wear down Sanchez. Sanchez might be hurt. He might be wobbled. And now Granados going on the attack. Sharon Sand separates the two. We'll see if Granados can push the pace in these final 65 seconds.
He's dead tired, but he's looking for the knockout, Gray.
Big shot there by Granados as he is pushing the pace on Jose Sanchez.
What a war. Oh, nice.
Big shots by Granados. Sanchez, how is he remaining upright?
He's holding on. He just wants to survive now, but he's also throwing his haymakers. Look at this, Granados. What a showing.
What intestinal fortitude by Jose Sanchez to not go down from the punches of Adrian Granados. Happy Cinco de Mayo holiday as they are unloading. 2 Mexican fighters giving their all. A big right hand by Granados.
It's unbelievable how they can keep going, and this is what we're going to see all night on the pay-per-view.
Here they go, down the stretch we go. Adrian Granados, Jose Sanchez. Can you believe that it's just the prelims?
Unbelievable. They're both exhausted but still throwing.
It's fights like this that make me proud to be involved in prize fighting. And to the bell they go. What a fight as they both embrace.
Unbelievable, the respect there at the end. Look at Granados. He can still go a couple more rounds. Unbelievable. Sanchez. Also, what a showing. Unbelievable. This is going to mean so much for both fighters.
Felix, that was as fun as it was to watch. It was even more fun to call. I mean, my goodness, the ebbs and flows and the action that we saw in that fight, it took us on a roller coaster of emotions, and it's so fitting that we're here in the Hollywood area.
Yeah, definitely. Both of them deserve to win. Might be a tie. I mean, that's how this fight went. It was rock'em sock'em.
It was tremendous, and that is just a preview of things to come in less than 3 hours. FoxSports.com/PPV. It is Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view. Andy Ruiz, Chris Arreola. If you think this is something, wait until the pay-per-view in less than 3 hours.
Unbelievable. We got, of course, that first fight. Jesus Ramos against Javier Molina. Another barn burner. Sebastian Fundora.
Italian Inferno, 6
basketball player
plus.
against Jorge Cota, who's also going to give you action. Omar Figueroa Jr. against Abel Ramos, another one. And, of course, the main plate, Andy Ruiz Jr. against Chris Arreola.
And listen, in all those 4 fights, defense is optional because they love to throw. All those guys like to throw. And I am very curious to see how the judges have this one rendered, because Granados, he brings his all. And the fact that he hasn't been in the ring since October of 2019, unbelievable. Both men gave terrific accounts of themselves.
Unbelievable in the shape that Granados is in. See Hervey Estrada, who also does great jobs here in the corners. It's going to mean so much for Granados if he can win this fight. That'll give him another chance at one of the big boys.
I mean, I just loved watching this one. And we now have the scorecards. We now will send it up to ring announcer. Here is Miguel Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we go to the scorecards, one more round of applause for these warriors, leaving it all in the ring. All right, after 8 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Carla Caiz saw it 77-75 for Granados. However, she was overruled as judges Edward Hernandez Sr. and Judge Ron Scott Stevens both saw it 76-76. This fight is a majority draw.
Wow, it's a majority draw. Carla Caiz saw it 77-75 for Granados. Ron Stevens, Eddie Hernandez Sr., 76-76. So let's run it back. Let's do it.
It's a great fight that we saw here tonight. Prelude of what we're going to see the rest of the evening. And we mentioned it. A tie would not be the worst thing for these 2 warriors with what they showed here tonight.
I'll be honest, Felix, typically when I think about draws, I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm like, what about, a draw? This is so anticlimactic. I'm okay with it. That was probably one of the most exciting draws I've ever seen in my life.
Yes, I would agree. They both went at it. There was no time to breathe. They were just on top of each other, both of them. Congratulations to Sanchez and Granados for giving us a great fight.
And listen, being the selfish human being that I am, that means that there is room to see it another one. Let's see a rematch. I think the fans would love to see a rematch because that was so compelling and entertaining, Felix.
Yes, definitely. Sanchez, as we see him here, he'll have more experience for a second fight against Granados. And Granados, well, we know what he's going to offer. He's just going to come trying to look for the victory the next time around.
Well, Granados is obviously upset. He is disappointed and just livid. And he said, hey, look, I gave my all, but nonetheless, what a fight to kick off the prelim portion. All right, let's just go ahead and run down what we have in store for all of you later tonight. Coming up at the top of the hour, switch over to Fox as we have a tremendous doubleheader live on Fox, but you saw Anthony Garnica defeat Jesse Bazzi, Carlos Negron with the win over Scott Alexander, Adrian Granados, and also Jose Sanchez. They went ahead and fought to a draw in a thrilling matchup. Coming up at the top of the hour live on Fox, Eduardo Ramirez, Isaac Avilar for the interim featherweight world championship. And then Erislandy Lara tries to become a 3-division world champion as he will put his skills to the test against New Jersey's own Thomas Lamanum. On to the pay-per-view we go. 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time. You will start off with Jesus Ramos, who is the 20-year-old knockout sensation, matching up against the 2008 Olympian Javier Molina. Felix, let's break down every single matchup real quick. But Ramos, 20 years of age, he's won 5 straight by knockout. This one could very well prepare Jesus Ramos to being a legitimate contender at 147.
And he knows that, but Molina also knows that a win against Ramos will take him in that same place where a big fight will be coming his way.
And speaking of big fights, literally and figuratively, Sebastian Fundora is going to be a tall task for the knockout artiste in Jorge Cota. Why? Because Fundora stands 6'6" tall. He's undefeated. He's in his early 20s. He's managed and promoted by Samson Lukowicz. This is a welterweight title eliminator. Fundora's coming off a win over Habib Ahmed back in December, and Fundora is hoping to take that next step in his professional career.
Yeah, he was very happy to be top 10 in Ring Magazine or wherever it was, and if he wins now, those numbers are going to go up. As one of the best welterweights in the world right now, waiting for his opportunity.
At 154, Sebastian Fundora, Jorge Cota. Cota has vowed that fight will not go the distance. Our co-main event, well, forget about defense. That'll be optional. Omar Figueroa Jr., who claims that he will finish off Abel Ramos, who happens to be the uncle of Jesus Ramos. Figueroa says he's going to end Ramos's night before the 6th round. Ramos says, try to do it, I'm going to finish you off.
A tight-knit family in regards to the Ramos. They're both looking for victories tonight. Figueroa has other plans.
And Andy Ruiz Jr., the only fighter of Mexican descent to capture the heavyweight championship of the world. He's going to square off against the first fighter of Mexican descent to challenge for the heavyweight championship of the world, Chris the Nightmare Arreola. Ruiz Jr. now trained under the guidance of Eddie Reynoso, who happens to be the same trainer of Canelo Alvarez, Oscar Valdez, and Ryan Garcia. They have said that Ruiz is in the best shape of his life and that he's rededicated and focused on recapturing the heavyweight championship of the world. Arreola says he's going to turn Andy Ruiz Jr. into this generation's Buster Douglas.
Well, with the weight loss, will it affect him in the round? Some thinks he'll be much quicker against Arreola. Do not count Arreola. He still has that punching power.
We go live on pay-per-view, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific time, Fox Sports, PBC pay-per-view. On behalf of Felix De Jesus and our entire staff, I'm Ray Flores saying we will see you at the top of the hour on Fox, and then on pay-per-view, we kick off the Cinco de Mayo holiday. It's a great grand celebration. So long from LA for now. We'll see you in only moments.
Tonight, don't miss the return of former heavyweight champion Andy Ruiz as he takes on rugged veteran Chris Arreola. Plus a stacked card of Mexican firepower. Featuring Omar Figueroa versus Abel Ramos.
Oh my goodness!
Sebastian Fundora versus Jorge Cota.
What a fight!
And Jesus Ramos versus Javier Molina. Buy now on foxsports.com/PPV and watch it on any screen you want.